Blame shifting is a manipulative tactic commonly used by narcissists to avoid taking responsibility for their actions, behaviors, or mistakes. Instead of acknowledging their own faults, shortcomings, or wrongdoing, narcissists shift the blame onto others, deflecting criticism and accountability away from themselves. By shifting blame onto others, narcissists can avoid facing consequences for their actions or behaviors. They try and deflect attention away from their own mistakes or misdeeds by portraying themselves as victims or martyrs and placing the blame onto others, often coming up with the most convincing narrative or excuses. They will distort the truth so cunningly that it can be extremely difficult to prove the actual truth in a situation. Because they mix a bit of truth and twist it with some lies, it can confuse people and make their lies sound believable. This tactic works because most people want to be able to put their trust in their relationships and give those around them the benefit of the doubt. That is the reason the narcissist is often believed. When the narcissist is able to convince those around them of their lies, it makes them feel powerful and in control. And this feeds their false ego with narcissistic supply. Narcissists have a fragile self-esteem and are highly invested in maintaining a positive self-image. Image is everything to them. And blame shifting allows them to avoid facing criticism or admitting fault, protecting their ego and preserving their self-image as faultless or superior. Reality of the truth does not play along with the narrative of their delusional fantasies. And since the narcissist's ego is so fragile, they cannot face the truth even if the facts are right in front of them. But deep down, they are aware of their faults. They also shift blame and shame others to avoid the repercussions of feeling their own emotions of guilt and shame. Their lack of empathy for others makes it easy for them to force others to take the blame and face their consequences for them. Narcissists thrive on being seen as the innocent victim, the righteous hero or superior to the victim they are placing their blame on. The fact that their fragile ego will not allow them to feel guilt or shame that is associated, they will always continue to deflect blame. This is why you may experience them constantly projecting their behaviors onto you or others. For the reason that the narcissist has an exaggerated sense of self-importance and they want to believe they are inherently superior to others, blame shifting also allows them to assert their superiority and dominance by placing the blame on those they view as or want to perceive as inferior or deserving of criticism. Blame shifting is gaslighting. It is a form of psychological manipulation that they use to control and fool others. By deflecting blame onto others, they can manipulate the victim's perceptions and emotions, eliciting sympathy, guilt, or validation to serve their own interests. Their sense of entitlement also allows them to believe that they are so special and that nothing is ever a result of their poor behaviors. They gaslight themselves to believe their own delusions. They also rely on the fact that you are caring and forgiving whilst always willing to be the bigger person. That you are naive and be willing to give them the benefit of the doubt. The narcissist view people with having these traits as people that are more susceptible to their manipulations. They often seek out these characteristics in others, like a hunter would seek his or her prey. If they are able to manipulate and gaslight those around them, then there are no consequences to their actions. Narcissists will use another manipulation tactic called baiting. This tactic gets the target to react, so the narcissist can blame the target's reaction to escape responsibility. Instead of focusing on the narcissist's behaviors, they instead put the spotlight on the victim's reactions. Because baiting tactics are so covert, the outside world often believe the narcissist's side of the story because all they tend to see is the victim reacting overly emotional and out of character for what seems like no reason. The victim is seen as crazy and therefore it must be their fault in the eyes of most people that does not see through the narcissist's games. I believe this is why we must spread the knowledge of narcissistic behaviors to those that are willing to learn, so we can spread a light of truth into the world and help to illuminate everything that is done in the dark by these demonic souls. Triangulation is also another tactic narcissists use to shift blame. They will play people against each other using manipulation, so that both sides trust the narcissist and not one another. The narcissist has then opened up the opportunity to place blame on the third party, and once again, they break away from having to take accountability. Narcissists can often use the scapegoat to place their blame on. The scapegoat is the one who the narcissist may see as someone who is difficult to control. Mainly because scapegoats may see through lies, dislike injustice, are confident within themselves, and are genuine, kind people. Because the scapegoat's strengths can remind the narcissist of their weaknesses, the narcissist tends to see them as a threat. And blaming them becomes an opportunity to bring down the scapegoat by shaming them to a state of vulnerability and weakness, so the narcissist can feel superior and in control. Narcissists also secure supply by playing the victim, twisting the truth to make themselves appear victimized instead of guilty. They get off on the sympathy they incite in others and the pain they cause their victims. Sadly, narcissists secretly get immense pleasure from other people's suffering. Have you ever noticed the narcissist smirk when there is bad news about someone, or when they see someone in distress? If you feel hurt, that is another time the narcissist can also place blame on you, convinced that you inflicted that pain upon yourself and that you must deserve it. But if the narcissist feels hurt, they will always blame you or others, certain that the pain they feel is due to everyone else's doing, and therefore others must be punished or expected to fix the situation, take away that hurt, and restore their reputation. They even believe that karma or consequences created by their own actions is due to being someone else's fault. Making other people feel guilty is another manipulation tactic narcissists use to shift blame. Empaths that seek the validation and acceptance of others can be susceptible to this form of gaslighting. Because the empath may have low self-esteem with a strong desire to please others, they often believe the narcissist's words and take on the blame and the responsibility and the accountability for the narcissist. This is how the narcissist can gain control in their victims. And when the narcissist play victim in their blame-shifting narrative, they also get the sympathy, attention, and validation they desire. Blame-shifting seems to get them the supply they want. Why would they have the inclination to change their manipulative, evil, and selfish ways? Narcissists have no conscience and no empathy for others. They only care when something affects them. They cry only for themselves. If they don't want to feel shame and take accountability for their actions, then they believe that others must be coerced, manipulated, or intimidated to do it for them. And when the narcissist embarrasses themselves, they tend to take it out on other people physically, emotionally, or psychologically. They may also try and gaslight the victim into blaming themselves for the way they were treated, just so the narcissist can feel better about themselves. I honestly see narcissists purely as typical schoolyard bullies, never caring about anybody but themselves. They may talk a good game about how caring and righteous they are, but behind closed doors, these people are the epitome of evil. We must see them for what they truly are. Please look out for the red flags. Learn all you can about their behaviors and only feel sorry for them for the fact that they are completely delusional. We can only pray for their lost, heartless, and tortured souls. Overall, blame shifting is a common tactic used by narcissists to avoid accountability, manipulate others, preserve their self-image, maintain control, and assert their superiority. It can have serious consequences for the victim, leading to feelings of confusion, self-doubt, and a diminished sense of self-worth. Recognizing blame-shifting behavior is essential for protecting oneself from its harmful effects and seeking support from trusted friends, family members, or mental health professionals. If you enjoyed this video and it was helpful to you in any way, please consider supporting us by liking this video and subscribing to the channel. And please share this content if you think it can help others. Thank you. We believe that knowledge truly is power when it comes to dealing with toxic people.